It's a beautiful Sunday, January 11th, and you're listening to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Ikard and Lehman presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted Oklahoma City's #1 casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including Blackjack Match Roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. And the OU football content machine just never stops, Ted. My goodness.
Yeah, we got plenty to hit on. There's all kinds of stuff going on right now.
Let's get straight into it, man. Jason Witten's the OU tight ends coach.
Okay. Yeah. It's funny that people have, I don't know, somehow made the connection. He's been at some practices and stuff over the years, and like it would, not leak out's not the right word. People would, I guess dream about that and throw it out there. And whenever I first saw it, I was like, oh, here we go again. We're doing this all over again. And then it's like, okay, well, maybe there's something real here. And then, bam, Jason Witten.
You and I had been informed, like, hey, this is actually a real possibility. And I think we both took the okay, yeah, we'll believe it when we see it type of stance. And my goodness, here we are. It's real.
Yeah.
And
And
it was you have one of the best tight ends to ever play, a guy that's going to go to the Hall of Fame as your tight ends coach. It's
yeah,
Jason Witten, man. And everyone knows the bio, right? 17 years in the NFL, made 11 Pro Bowls. He was like a 4-time All-Pro. It was Walter Payton Man of the Year. He's got the college award for Man of the Year named after him. Now, he's the Cowboys' all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, games played. Currently a finalist, one of the 15 finalists for the Hall of Fame. You don't get a better resume as a player.
yeah. And as a person, just an impeccable reputation, fantastic story, fits, I think, the culture that they're trying to develop at Oklahoma. Um, and he's been coaching in high school, and I don't know a whole lot about that, but I know he knows the position up, down, backwards, however. And you have to imagine if there's anyone out there that's a tight end right now in college, in high school, they know exactly who Jason Witten is. I know you're starting to put some time between when he played, but come on. I mean, everyone knows Jason Witten. The name is synonymous with tight end.
He is one of the best tight ends of my lifetime. And this
Yeah.
is I think the vast majority of the fan base is absolutely psyched about this. Now, I'm sure there's this small number that are going, let's wait and see if this guy can coach. Which to those people I say, choose optimism, choose joy in your life, please. And in all seriousness, I know a lot of guys that played with him in Dallas. I met him like years ago. Really cool guy, super easy to talk to. And when you look at it, if you had to pick one former player to coach one position, Jason Witten coaching tight ends maybe at the very top of the list. You probably start with some type of like Tom Brady coaching your quarterbacks, right? But
Right.
as far as, hey, who can we go get to be our tight ends coach? That's a former player that has an incredible resume and an incredible reputation. Like, is it Jason Witten, the guy?
Probably so.
No offense to Gronk. You're probably not picking Gronk because it kind
That's
of a wild
exactly
card,
where I was going. Like, there's a bunch of great tight ends, but like the demeanor of Jason Witten is pretty rare, not just for a tight end, really for for any, tremendously famous and high profile athlete. I mean, just to go right in and start coaching high school ball, he loves the game, it's been a huge part of his life and wants to continue that. And, you know, I, I know there's a lot of controversy around the topic or frustration around the topic, but I mean, I, I don't think we've had necessarily what I would label a tight end coaching problem. We've had a tight end personnel problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
say whatever you want about Joe John. He's a good coach. He just didn't have the talent required to play the position and what we're asking those guys to do in this conference. I mean, to me, it's pretty simple. And you could say, yeah, he's a part of getting the right personnel in, whether it's recruiting, whether it's having the voice in the building, whatever. The buck stops here. But I I don't think the coach. My point is, I think Jason Witten's going to be just fine on the coaching aspect.
It all comes down to having guys that can play at a high level in your room.
That's right.
You can be the best coach in college football for your position. And if you don't have players, it doesn't matter, man. There's like a baseline level you got to have for your group to go out and play well. And let's just be honest, it has not been good enough the last couple seasons in the tight end room. It just hasn't.
That's right.
There's a discussion to be had about whose fault that is.
Right.
Ultimately, it's everyone involved's fault.
Yep.
I don't think you can't just single Joe John Finley out. You have to have players in that room. And with the way that the sport works now, that means you have to allocate resources to that room.
That's exactly what I was going to say is like, look at the allocation of resources that we've had to the tight end room over the last couple of years. And it hasn't been equal with, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but you can tell by, where they've been acquiring the talent that, they're going out and getting receivers. They're going out and getting, O-linemen, defensive players, ponying up the cash. And you can tell that's a change because they went and got one of the top transfer portal tight ends. And, I would love to sit here and say that he came to Oklahoma because he loves the Sooners, right? And he's always wanted to be a Sooner. But realistically, it means that, a part of having, an ascending like what we are planning and the way things are progressing, that's part of it. The other part of it is financially, it was up there with the other people across the country that were trying to get top tight ends.
You think Hayden Hansen and Rocky Beers were excited when they found out their tight end coach was going to be Jason freaking Witten?
Yeah, and it's interesting, and I'm sure maybe at some point we'll find out like that they had to know or at least be told that it's a possibility, right? Or maybe not.
I would assume that the discussion was, hey, we're going to have a really, really good tight ends coach. And I don't know if Witten was mentioned or not, but it like just seeing a couple of guys' reactions, I don't think they signed on the dotted line knowing Jason Witten was going to be their tight ends coach. Yeah. They may have known it was a possibility, but I saw some quotes from Rocky Beers that was basically like, this is awesome. So guys are going to come play for Jason Witten. And just from some of the conversations I've had, like it sounds like Jason Witten has some big time ambitions in coaching.
Yeah.
So this is a guy that wants to be a coordinator, wants to be a head coach. He's going to come in ready to work. And you climb the ladder in the coaching world when your team has success.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So we know his reputation of leadership as a player, what he's done down there at Liberty Christian in Argyle. Like the guy couldn't have a better reputation when it comes to football. So it's extremely exciting. And I just can't imagine being one of those people that's like, we'll see if it works. It's Jason Witten, man. I don't know what else to say other than that.
I mean, I could understand if you get a former legendary player and they sign on and there's a thought of, is he really going to be a go-getter, or is he kind of resting on what he's done? And but I don't think that's going to be the case with Witten. Everything that the guy's done has he's poured his heart and soul into, and I don't imagine this will be any different.
I do think, like, when I saw the hire, my first reaction was, that's awesome. My second reaction was, okay, what's that mean for the tight ends we can get? Because I don't think we're done with the tight end room. I think this probably opens the door to some different possibilities that maybe were not there before this hire was made. So I think they want to add another quality player to that room via the portal. But I also was going, okay, what's this do to like the staff dynamic? And what does this do for the offense? Because a lot of people may just remember like back half of his career, Jason Witten. Early Jason Witten caught balls, dude. Mm-hmm. Like an insane amount of receptions for a tight end. There's one year he had like 114.
When I was in Detroit, we played him in a game. He had 15 catches.
Yeah. So you think that guy's going to want to get the tight end room some touches? You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's where that stuff matters when you have a position coach in there that's going to say, hey, we need to get my guys the ball. Like, we can be a weapon. And I'm sure Hayden Hansen and Rocky Beers are going, hey, just give me like half of what you got, dude. Come on.
Right. Yeah.
But I think that will have it has to have an effect on how they want to put together this offense, right? Because when you get to the winter, you have to reassess the pieces you have and build your offense accordingly. Like, you don't just do what you did a season ago. You've got new personnel, you've got new strengths, maybe some new weaknesses. And I just have to imagine Jason Witten is going to be like, guys, we got to get the tight end some touches, boys. Like this one or two catches a game for the entire group, that ain't going to cut it. Which you see these playoff games, a lot of these teams, tight end is a weapon, guys, yep. Tight ends getting touches. So I'm very, very intrigued by how this can change some of their philosophy offensively under Ben Arbuckle.
Totally agree. Yeah. I mean, you're right. The personnel has changed. I mean, honestly, pretty drastically, and it should open up some new doors to do, different stuff in the run game. And whenever you do different stuff in the run game, it opens up new windows in the passing game, play action game. And yeah, I imagine he's going to be lobbying pretty hard in there. I mean, it's not that hard of a formula to put together. If you want to go get good tight ends, you got to throw the tight end the football and say, look, this is what we do with our tight ends. We'll start throwing the football whenever you get here thing probably doesn't go very far.
You know what else Witten was really good at? Blocking outside zone.
Yeah.
There's hope, Ted. I'm a sicko, man. That was one of my first thoughts. I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way we don't run a lot of outside zone now. We've got Jason Witten. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I have hope. And that goes a long way.
Hey, you and me both.
It's incredibly exciting. I can't wait to see how it ends up working out, especially when it comes to the talent acquisition piece. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this over the next forever, how long he's here. Like, it's Jason freaking Witten. Like, there's going to be a lot of tight ends that want to come play for Jason Witten. So
especially if like he can, I mean,
if he makes Hayden Hansen a better player and he gets picked, he ends up being like a day 2 pick, that's going to get the ball rolling. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Like I think it's great. I think he's going to be a good coach. I like everything about it, but it's got to show up in production. You've got to have good players and show that not only is Jason Witten a great player, he's a great coach, and he's getting guys the football, getting guys drafted. Like, all of it has to start rolling.
Joe John Finley, I mean, he gave everything he had. And no one wanted it to work out more than Joe John. The guy clearly, like, he loves OU. Played here. No one wanted it to work out more than him. And it just didn't work out the last couple of years, man. They didn't have, for whatever reason, whether it's missing on high school recruits, not landing guys at the portal. There's a discussion to be had. Hey, were they willing to spend the money they needed to spend at that position the last couple of years? Like, they just, the production at the tight end spot just was not good enough. I think Joe John's a good coach. We've seen him coach. He's hardcore. He's intense. He's demanding. And I'm with you. I think it was a personnel issue as opposed to, like, the guy can't coach.
Yep. Personnel, resources, and let's face it, scheme. We haven't had, now maybe the scheme is a reflection of the talent level that we've had there, but it just, it hasn't been a great opportunity to thrive. Let's hope that changes. I mean, I'm sure there's a big conversation about with Witten before you accept the job. Like, what do you want from the tight end position? What are we building for? What's kind of been holding the position back? I don't think he blindly just leapt into this thing to go coach college football without having a good idea of what the path is going to be forward for the position at Oklahoma in the coming years.
Right. It's very exciting. I think Joe John Finley is going to go get a job somewhere else. I don't think we've heard the last of him and what he's going to be when it comes to his coaching career. And I just hope that everyone just wishes him the best. Like, this ran its course, right?
Yep.
And now Jason Witten is our tight ends coach. So to those people that have been, like, holding on to that animosity, like, let's all let it go,
That's right.
Let's move forward. And I'm extremely excited to see Arbuckle and Beedenbow and Witten and, like, this entire offensive staff work together. And I really am interested to see how this addition of one of the best tight ends to ever play, like, what's that do to our approach offensively? And the fact that we've got some tight ends now,
Yeah. Yeah.
It may end up adding more.
Yeah. And I'd be surprised if we don't, because I know we've added a couple of guys, but we're still really thin at the position. Really thin.
You need 4 guys that can play.
At least.
You better have 4. 3, okay. You better hope no one gets banged up. You want 4. And that way you can actually make teams prepare defensively for formations that are using tight ends.
There you go.
And run plays where tight ends are blocking people. Yeah.
Pass plays where they're
Pass
catching?
Pass plays where they catch it. Pass plays where maybe they stay in and pass protect. We've been over this. We've been over. Wow. We'll see what happens with the tight end position. We could have not gotten better news over the weekend for OU special teams. The reigning Lou Groza Award winners coming back, baby.
Big time. Big time.
Huge. I mean, Tate Sandell, we've never been so complimentary about a kicker. And I know he missed a couple kicks in the college football playoff game. I understand that. But that doesn't change the fact that he had the best season we've ever seen from an OU kicker. And he was one of the main reasons why the Sooners were in that game in the first place.
No doubt. Yeah. And I fully expect him to continue to get better. A ton of confidence going into the season. We know what he's capable. He knows what he's capable of. And it feels good to not have to worry about kicking.
Sooners are going to be in a bunch of one-score games again in
That's right.
2026.
That's right.
Kicking will be massively important. So it is huge that Sandell is coming back. And maybe most importantly, I think we have to make the underwear now. I had forgotten. And then I saw the video he put out, and I was like, oh man, we may have to make the OU football
Okay.
pant underwear that since Sandell's back.
May have to make some phone calls.
We've got we we've got some people interested in making them.
Just say go.
It it just comes down to, is Sandell prepared to be the face of underpants?
I mean, you can't make them and sell them without a photo shoot of him kicking wearing them, right? I mean, it's just kind of how it is.
You said at we're not marketing geniuses, but that it feels like the only way.
Kind of it.
It feels like the only way. Do you think he'll do that? I'm sure everyone has their price, right?
I was about to say, yeah. I mean, yes, he will. It's just, there's a factor involved.
Sandell's people will be in touch with our people. Our people are us.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Hey, get in the weight room. Start getting the physique right.
You got to get in the weight room, but you got to take like the Hollywood actor method. Have you ever heard any of those stories about like Hugh Jackman when he was going to do the Wolverine shirtless scenes? Like he wouldn't drink water for like 3 days.
Lean out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Nice.
yeah. I don't know the proper methods, but there's people out there that do, and we'll get Sandell right for the photo shoot if it happens.
That's right.
That's on his people, not us though. Once again, your people call our people. All right, let's break down a couple more of the portal additions for the Sooners. But first, download the Loves app from Love's Travel Stops, your guide to savings on the road. Fill up for less with a discount on fuel, 10 cents off on every gallon of gas, and 25 cents off on every gallon of auto diesel. And don't forget, in the store, you can unlock mobile deals on the Loves app to save on snacks, drinks, and select meals at Love's restaurants. Plus, you can plan your pit stops for your next road trip with the map and route planner. All from Love's, the heart of the highway.
Steaks are back. Didi Ranch's luxury steak cuts are restocked and ready to ship straight to your door. From mouth-watering ribeyes to silky smooth fillets, this is the best beef Oklahoma has to offer. And here's the kicker. They're now shipping next day air for free when you use code SOONER at checkout. That's right. Next day air like Amazon Prime, but for steak. Didi Ranch delivers taste and tradition the luxurious way. Order today at DiddyRanch.com and get your steaks just in time for the holidays.
And we are brought to you by Simple Modern, the Oklahoma-owned company and the official drinker partner of the OKC Thunder. Simple Modern is selling these sick championship collector's gift sets celebrating the Thunder's first ever NBA championship. Banners hang forever, and these are truly one-of-a-kind commemorative items that you'll want to hold on to forever. Just use code OB35 for 35% off your order. Click the link in the show notes and grab one for the biggest Thunder fan you know. Just remember to use code OB35. And with 10% of all Simple Modern profits going to charity, many right here in Oklahoma, every purchase supports our community on and off the court. Simple Modern, good everywhere. All right, let's break down a couple more of these portal additions for the Sooners, and let's start with a position you know very well, Ted. The Sooners land Michigan linebacker Cole Sullivan out of the portal. 6'3", 230 pounds. I cede the floor to you, Mr. Butkus winner. What do you think?
I think he's an exciting player. I do. I really like the measurables. He's got good length. He runs well. I think he can run better. I think he can get better. I really like his movement patterns, his footwork. I really like the way that he takes on some blocks. He just, I think that there's a lot of development left to happen. I think that he's got sky high potential, sees the blocking schemes really well. I think he's a violent blitzer. I think he's good in pass coverage, dropping back with awareness, and again the footwork and the movement patterns whenever he's playing the run or playing the pass. I really like. I think it's something that he can build on. Um, I talked to one of the coaches about him a little bit. Weight room guy, strength and conditioning junkie, which is great. And I think that he's just scratching the surface. And we've seen the development we've gotten at linebacker here has been really good. And I think that's going to be the case with him. You can see on film there's some stuff every now and then. He gets lost a little bit. He played on the line of scrimmage at times against heavy personnel. And, I think he has pad levels a little bit high. I mean, it's all the things that you'll typically see in young players, but he's got a lot of eligibility left. And I think that, like I said, all of the structure and the frame of a really good linebacker is there. He just needs to turn it up in all the little facets of the game. And I think he's got a chance to be really good.
It's the body type, it's the way he moves. Right now, with what we've seen up to this point, he reminds me of Stutzman as a young player.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Stutzman's last 2 years is like everything came together, everything got more violent, everything just became clearer for the guy, and he played at a really, really high level. Sullivan's not there yet.
Yep.
Sullivan reminds me of Stutzman when he was a freshman, sophomore. That's kind of where he's at in his development. And if he can make the improvement, make the jump that Stutzman made, then we're all going to be really, really happy with this addition because there's no doubt that he's got all the tools you want an inside backer to have.
No doubt. And mainly, like, the difference for Stutzman is, he gradually got more physically mature, stronger, all of those things. Technique got a little bit better. But the main thing is knowledge, knowing where you're supposed to be, knowing how to make the play, knowing how you align, just having the confidence before the ball snapped. You would see Stutzman early in his career get caught often by, a guard coming up to the next level and just, get pancaked. And you never saw that in his last couple of years. And it's because of technique, knowledge, knowing where to be, knowing the proper footwork. And I think that's exactly where he can get. It's just going to be how quickly can he adapt to the system, adapt to the coaching, learn where he played a lot of will. It looked like to me at Michigan, and I don't know where they envision him playing Mike or Will. They're interchangeable. Most guys are going to be able to play both. But, just whatever it is, probably limit him some from playing both in spring, I would imagine, and slowly open it up for him. But just getting in and understanding the scheme is going to be the first and foremost thing that he's got to get really good at. And then all the rest of the development's going to come along a lot quicker.
One of the things I like about him as far as what he's done up to this point is Michigan made him do quite a bit of stuff this season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's playing in the box. He's bumped out of the box playing in space. He's playing, they would jump into bear. He'd play on the edge of the line of scrimmage. You mentioned it earlier. I don't know why they did this, but like on the goal line, they would make him come play up at the line of scrimmage, like head up with the tight end.
And in a 6 whenever they've got 2 tight ends and a wing. I mean, it's tough duty.
It's not exactly where you expect to see your inside backer, but he's got the link to where he held up decently in some of those situations, which is just like incredibly tough duty, like a really big ask with what they're asking him to do. But I like that I've already been able to see him do all that stuff because, once again, I don't think Sullivan is close to what Stutzman ended up being right now, but that's all the stuff we did with Danny.
Yep.
I don't think he runs like Danny could fly. I think Sullivan runs well. I don't think he runs quite as well as Danny did, but he's still young. Like, he can get faster. He can get more explosive. The thing that I think he needs to improve the most is like the block destruction.
Yep.
His block recognition, like his scheme recognition is good. You see, like he knows where he needs to fit. He sees pullers on all the gap scheme stuff. Like he flows over the top. Like he kind of dips under some blocks and some of the zone stuff. He's got a good feel for the position. Like his instincts at inside backer are really good. He just needs to get better at jacking dudes up when they come to block him, in my opinion.
Yeah, he needs to be more violent. He needs to be more assertive. He needs to be more aggressive, and he needs to crank the motor up. Right? Outside perimeter plays. Okay, you dropped, you fulfilled your responsibility. Now they threw a swing pass on the other side of the field. Like, flip on, like, what separates Owen Heineke from a lot of people, right, is the motor. The motor, the violence, assertive. He's going right now. There's not a lot of like waiting around. Where do I fit? How do I approach this? Assertive, aggressive, violent, and flip the switch on the motor, and we're always going 100%.
If he does that, he can be really good, man.
Yep.
And let's be real, if he doesn't, he's not going to play.
Yeah.
Venables and Dreiling, that is about the craziest duo you're going to find when it comes to, hey, if you do not play, like you always mentioned that, with like that controlled panic, you're not going to play. Yep. Or you're certainly not going to play a lot. So he's got everything you want an inside backer to have in modern college football. But there's no doubt, like the improvement has to take place. And if it does, which I think it will, with those two guys coaching him each and every day, he's going to be a big factor for this team over the next couple of seasons.
Yep. That's God gave you two ears so you could be yelled at by Venables and Dreiling at the exact same time. That's why we're designed how we are, you know?
It's going to be great. But I think a lot of people are looking at you for like your thoughts on this, and I would say it's an exciting addition, right? Very exciting.
Yeah, I think he has all of the tools, the movement patterns, like he checks all of the boxes at linebacker. He just needs to get better at all of them, if that makes sense. He is. I don't believe we're getting a finished product. I think we're getting a guy like at Michigan that is a role player, but has the ability, the frame, the measurables, the skill set to be a top end starter with, and I don't want to put a limit as to what anyone can be. He's got a lot of tools to be really, really good. He's just going to have to crank them all up.
I'm with you. He was a guy that a lot of people wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And Venables, Dreiling, this staff, they were able to get it done. So very exciting to get a guy like that, especially when you consider we don't know what's going to happen with Heineke still. Kip still hasn't made an announcement one way or the other. I don't know. I'm expecting him to be back, but I guess I won't know until I see him out there in spring ball, So
right. Well, it's one of the reasons that I really hope that we get Kip and Heineke back. Number one, great players, but number two, we play a lot of backers, and the reason we can play a lot of backers is because they've been thrown out there and everyone's kind of come up through it together. You start off with getting some reps here and there, and before you know it, we're sharing reps with 3-4 guys. And there is no better way to learn than watching the guy in front of you do it the way the coach is asking it to be done. And with Kip and Owen Heineke there, and the way that they run, the way that they practice, the way you flip on the film on game day, you have no option but to get the motor cranked up and go full throttle. Or you stick out. You don't want to stick out for the wrong reasons.
No doubt. All right, let's hit a couple more guys that we've added in the portal. Let's talk about UTSA defensive tackle Kenny Ozowalu. The whole SEC basically wanted this guy.
Mhm.
Now he's listed at 6'4", 270. That's what he's listed at UTSA this season. I know that on his OU visit he was already 280.
He put on 40 pounds from the time he got from high school to where he is, what he played at this season.
And anyone that has seen the pictures of him from his OU visit, he it ain't a flabby 280.
Where is it? Right. That's
Exactly.
right.
So I'll be really surprised if this guy, by the time we kick this thing off, he's not playing at like 295. And looks like he's got some really good length. Looks like he's a long arm guy. I'm not sure he's actually 6'4". I don't really care when it comes to defensive tackle. I just want him to have long arms and to play with good pad level. And I think he checks those boxes. But when you look at the production in the 2025 season, it's not going to wow you. 6 TFLs, 3 sacks. He did lead UTSA with, I think it was 16 or so pressures. But the excitement with Ozowalu is all about the potential, the upside. The staff is psyched about this guy.
Yep.
They think his best plays on tape, you go, whoa, okay, yeah, I get it. And he's one of these guys that I think they're expecting him to be a factor in the 2026 season for sure. But man, you start thinking about the fact that he's got 3 years of eligibility left. The sky is the limit for this guy in the interior of the defensive line. I mean, he's got all the tools. He's got the athleticism. He's got the suddenness, like the natural power, super thick lower half. Like he's got the potential to be. I don't know if he's got the twitch of Grayson Holton. I don't think he does. Like that's not quite what I've seen on film, but just the natural power, some of the counter move stuff he has on film. Like this guy's got a chance to be really good, really good.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And I think that, kind of like what I was talking about with linebacker, I think it's going to be the same thing at, the defensive line position edge. The level's really good there right now. And whenever you show up in meetings and in practice every day and the level's really good and you're seeing guys do it exactly how they're coached and what the coordinator and position coach are asking of them, you have a tendency to rise really quickly to that level. And I'm with you. I think he's going to play right away, but I don't know. It's hard to, to guess like what the finished product could be. Like he could be a guy that comes on campus and accelerates really quickly. And in the 26th season is a wow player, but he could also be a player that, there's a little bit of time and development. It comes in a little bit raw, but you've got plenty of time. And I have no doubt that he's going to end up being a big time dude for us.
He does some stuff. He did some things at UTSA this season that make you think he can do some really good things in Venables' system. Like he was really good in twist games. His timing, especially when he was the looper, like his timing, he's got a natural feel for that type of stuff. And not just as a pass rusher, but all those run twists that we do. Like he's already displayed a good feel. Like, and not every interior defensive lineman has a good feel for those.
Feel is right, because I know they label it 1 step, 2 step, all of that stuff, but you have to be able to feel the response of the offensive line. Like it may be time to go right now. You can't miss your window, or they may be in a good position and you've got to wait for it to develop a little bit longer. So having that feel, I think that's the perfect term.
He's just a smooth athlete.
Yep.
He's a smooth athlete. I mentioned it looks like he gets a lot of natural power from that lower half. I'm not sure how strong he is up top. And you know how the game's played. It's more about your lower half and the backside of your body, but there's no doubt in my mind. Add weight, add strength. He already displayed a nice ability to take on one-on-one blocks. right? Whether it's zone, gap scheme stuff, like nice inside hands, good power level, holding the point. Where he ran into trouble was double teams. He's just light, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like and when you turn on the tape, his worst plays are him getting moved off the ball because he was playing at 270 pounds.
Yeah.
And especially against the best teams that UTSA played. His block recognition needs to improve, but that's all stuff like the technique, the block recognition. That's all stuff that I think Todd Bates is really good at teaching.
Yeah.
So his technique is still a work in progress, but as far as like his potential, man, that's what it's all about with this guy. And with the 3 years of eligibility left, I mean, he's not close to what he's going to end up being. And I know that the sport now, you kind of sit here and you go, he's got 3 years of eligibility left. Hopefully we have him for all
Yeah,
three.
he ain't gonna be here.
Yeah, that is what it is. But when you think about him having a full winter, spring ball, all summer workouts, all training camp, like I think this guy's going to be a very different player 8 months from now. You know,
I agree. And I heard we had an interview with him. I didn't. Our radio station did, and I really like the kid too. Um, about the right things. Seems incredibly intelligent to me, and making decisions. I think there was a lot of thought that went into his decision to come to Oklahoma. I don't know. I've got a lot of high hopes for him. I think he's a great addition.
I also think he provides you some position versatility.
No doubt.
In my mind, like when he's a finished product, he's an explosive, hell on wheels 3 technique. But you saw him like he played edge for UTSA. He played in the interior. He played like a 3-4 defensive end role. They would stand him up like in the A gap. So you got to see him do a lot of different things. And so I think he's going to be comfortable with whatever Venables and Bates ask him to do. But like he's a guy that if he gains the weight and is playing at 295, like maybe he ends up giving you 75-80% of what Halton did for us last season, which would be great.
Yep.
But he's also got, maybe you can kick him out to, if you think a tackle's a little light in the britches, you kick him out to a 5 technique and you say, hey, man, go bolt through this guy's soul.
Yeah.
Maybe you play him in a 6 technique. Maybe it gives you a little more front versatility, like we can do more defensively.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about what this guy can be. And we'll see what he ends up being in the 2026 season. But just from the conversations I've had, like this guy's potential is what has everyone in that building very excited about landing him.
Totally agree. I mean, he's a guy that measurables and some of the things that you've seen, if the development happens and everything goes right, he's another guy. Kind of like I said with Cole Sullivan, like you don't want to put a cap as to what you think he could be because it's all there. We'll just have to see how it all comes together, what role he settles in, and how they use him. And, is he going to have the ability to, like you said, we do a lot on the defensive line. There's a lot asked of those guys. It's not just line up as a 3 technique every snap, give me the close call, and then I line up and play 3. That is not what we do. But it opens you up to a ton of availability of production. And if you get it right, understand the scheme, and can operate at full force with it, potential's unlimited.
I also think maybe just in the spring, like make him just live in the interior world. He's got reps up, but it's like if you still have hope of playing on the edge, like are you really truly an interior defensive lineman? You know what I'm saying? Like
we may have to play him on the edge in the spring. Don't forget we've got a 270 plus pound tight end now.
That's a fair point. Fair point. I like that. But I think everyone very, very excited about getting Ozowalu and good player now, but the true excitement is about what this guy can be.
No doubt. No doubt.
Let's hit one more guy.
Okay.
I'm going to do my best to not sound ridiculous. because Georgia Tech offensive line transfer Peyton Joseph played 4 snaps on offense in the 2025 season. And I went and watched said 4 snaps
How many times did you watch? All
against
4.
Gardner Webb.
Okay.
I watched each play at least 10 times.
Okay.
I'm a psycho. What?
I was prepared to hear you say 100 times,
but
yeah.
I'm 10. I felt like I got a good grasp watching that many.
And you'll go back and watch them again, right?
Probably, Ted. But off of 4 snaps, and I wouldn't watch his high school highlights too. Off of what I've seen, dude, I love this kid.
Okay.
6'4", 305, lean. Not a fat guy. Which you know how I feel about linemen.
That's right.
I want my guys lean and have the ability to run.
Why? So you can run what play?
Outside zone 10. Also pin pull stuff. Like I want guys out in space looking athletic and just like seek and destroy missiles in space. That's what I love. That's my bag. Dude. It's only 4 plays, but 2 of them are massive gains. And you get to see this guy open up and run full speed. And whoa.
We're going to have to do a sprint review.
He's no lot like he's running by skill guys. And I was giddy watching these plays. I was like, wait a second. Whoa. An offensive lineman that can run, really run. And that's the type of athletic foundation I believe in for offensive linemen. I like guys that, hey, you can add the weight, you can add the strength. You got to do it the right way, but I want natural athletes along the offensive line. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what Peyton Joseph is. And from what I've been told, I think the guy has a bit of a temper too.
Okay. Little edge.
Which this room could use a guy that'll flirt with a personal foul every once in a while, okay?
That's right.
I think the room as a whole needs more of that. So you've got a guy that's got really good measurables. He looks like he's got really long arms at 6'4", too, which I love that. 6'4" with long arms, plenty. You can play any position, you know?
Yep.
But I love the 4 snaps. How athletic he looks, not only in those 4 snaps against Gardner Webb, but his high school highlights. And then just sounds like this dude's just kind of mean, man. Which I think we need more of. Like, you got to have a couple of those guys.
Yeah.
You got to have a couple of guys where you go, hey, man, like, are you trying to get a personal foul every play? Like, we need some more of that. So it sounds ridiculous, but this may be the guy, like out of all the guys, and I also think there's a value discussion to be had with him, you know? He may be the guy I'm most excited about out of all the portal guys.
Okay. What?
It may sound ridiculous, and I may end up looking like an idiot. He may never play here. I don't know. But just athleticism and then just being mean. Like, hell yeah, man, let's go. Sign me up.
Where do you envision him playing?
With the way that he moves, I wish I knew like his exact arm length. But with the way that he moves, I think he can play tackle. Like, I think he's athletic enough to play tackle. We'll find out once I get eyes on him in spring ball. Mm-hmm. Then we'll see. Okay, does he have the length that you feel like you need to play to be a high level tackle in the SEC? We'll see. If not, you kick him inside.
I was wondering, measurable wise, I was wondering were you about to say future center?
That's what I got to learn more about the guy.
Yeah.
The center can't always be trying to get borderline personal fouls every play. You know what I'm saying?
There's some truth to that. Yeah.
You have to have a guy that you got to be able to process everything. So I don't know enough about like his football IQ yet. We'll find out. Can't wait to learn more. But
Yep.
just the athletic foundation of this guy, it's exactly the type of lineman that I would bring in. He is athletic, lean, and mean.
There you go.
That's like my three-pronged approach when it
There
comes
you
to the type of O lineman I want. So this may sound ridiculous. The guy played 4 snaps this year,
right.
but I'm extremely excited about him in
This
this
is the
edition.
season for things to be ridiculous, though, right? I mean,
if he can get technique out of like if you have this level of athleticism and you play with good technique, there's no reason you shouldn't be a really good player.
right.
And especially seems like he's wired the way you want an O lineman to be wired.
Yep.
You can't have all crazy guys. That's a liability, but you got to have a couple.
Sprinkle them in.
Yeah. You got to have your calm, everything, everything's level guys, and then you got to have your crazy guys. I think he goes into the crazy category.
Okay. I
Dude, I watched the ones of him running down the field. It may have been more than 10 times. I was showing my wife, I was showing my kids, look at this guy run. Look at this guy run. He is the way that he moves. I'm just excited. Have I made that clear? I'm excited about Peyton
Yes.
Joseph.
And well, I'm sure we'll learn a lot more, see him in the spring and all of that, but hear from the coaches, see how he progresses through winter conditioning. It's good. What measurables, right? We've talked about it with Nagy, right? That he's a measurables guy, big arm length guy, and you're starting to see it in the transfer portal and recruiting. The roster continues to get more athletic, bigger, stronger, all the above.
I think he has every tool you need to be a really good player. And I can't wait to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Maybe I ended up being terribly wrong. But with the way he moves and the way he plays, if you get the technique right, man, I don't see any reason why this guy can't be really good. I
I like it.
ready to talk some CFP semis.
Ooh, let's do it.
One really good one, and then one, oh my goodness. But first,
Schwab Meat has been smoking the highest quality meats, hot dogs, and sausages in OKC since 1912. Go to schwabmeat.com to order any of Schwab's outstanding products and use promo code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab dogs are iconic. I like to keep it simple. Just a bun, dog, mustard, ketchup. Also, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage is ridiculous. SchwabMeat.com, code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab Meat, the official hot dog of game days.
and head to the garage for hand smashed patties, butter toasted buns, and ice cold beer. My go-to is the double bison cheeseburger. It's so good. The garage is the perfect spot to watch any big game, and you can enjoy Rad Hour every day. Enjoy discounted domestic beers, house wines, draft cocktails, and frozen cocktails Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Visit eatatthegarage.com to find a location near you or order online from the garage in your neighborhood.
Insurica's launched a new digital agency introducing Insurica Direct. Whether you're in Oklahoma or anywhere across the U.S., they've got you covered. From small business insurance and health insurance for your employees to insurance for individuals like home, auto, and even Medicare supplements. Insurica Direct's got it all. Start your journey today at insuricadirect.com. Remember, at Insurica, we specialize in you.
All right, time to recap the college football playoff semifinals. Let's just go in order, Ted. Miami Ole Miss was awesome.
What a finish.
What a fourth quarter. The Hurricanes win it 31-27. And hey, it felt like Miami had several opportunities to create separation in this game. And for whatever reason, they just couldn't do it. And I'm glad they didn't, because that fourth quarter was as entertaining of a quarter as I can remember. Dude, that was awesome.
So much happened. It was kind of hard to keep track of what all was going on. Yeah, on both sides, man. The playmaking down the stretch, Chambliss came alive and was fantastic. Miami making plays, wild finish. I mean, it's everything you want in a playoff football game.
I think the way that each team was answering the other in the fourth quarter,
Yep.
that was awesome because Tony scores the touchdown on the screen, right, to make it 24-19. Ole Miss answers right back. Chambliss to right. They convert the 2-point conversion. And when it was all on the line for Miami, 15 plays, 75 yards, Beck runs it in. That was, and the way that he handled that drive, the decisions that he made, some of the throws that he had, that's why you go get an experienced quarterback.
Yep.
He was when it was on the line and he had to be his best, he was really good. And it still came down to a throw into the end zone for Chambliss. And he had been so good in that fourth quarter, I was almost shocked that it wasn't completed for a game-winning touchdown.
Yeah. And it like here's the tough thing about it. On a Hail Mary, you you're going to see guys get away with some things because you're throwing up a prayer 50-50 ball in a big pile of guys. That wasn't really a Hail Mary. I mean, he put it exactly where one guy could go get that ball, and they didn't throw the flag. I personally thought it was pass interference. I understand not ending a game that way, but at some point you have to throw a flag. At some point you have to.
It was absolutely pass interference.
Yeah.
Now, there is a long history of not calling PI on Hail Mary situations. For whatever reason, it's just happens in the NFL, happens in college football. But there's no doubt that Stribling was inhibited from going and making a play on the ball.
Yeah.
And the one thing where I wouldn't have minded if they called PI in that situation, first of all, because it was PI. But this isn't the NFL where you get it at, the 2-yard line. It would have been a 15-yard penalty, and we would have had another snap from, about the 20-yard line. Mm-hmm. And we would have done it again. And that would have been awesome. But if I was an Ole Miss fan, I'd be like, what the heck? That's PI every day of the week, man.
It's a tough way to end the season. It feels unresolved for Ole Miss, but what a game, man. Playmakers were making plays. Dude, Malachi Toney is so fun to watch. That catch that was out of bounds is some of the most amazing stuff I've ever seen. In live action, I was like, did he catch it? There's a conversation over there. It didn't look anything like it looked in replay. When they showed the replay, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe he caught that football. That was insane.
Toe was in, heel came out. But
wow.
He clearly, the touchdown on the screen, massive play. But one of the biggest plays of the game, I thought, and it was like early in the second quarter. 3rd and 6, he catches it well short of the sticks, breaks a couple tackles, get the first down. Instead of them kicking a field goal there, because he gets the first down inside the 15, they go and score a touchdown. I mean, those are the types of plays that end up winning you close games.
Yep.
He was awesome. He is electric. They're going to have to pay that man so much money, which I'm sure they will be happy to do. But he had a huge impact on the game.
The question is like, does anyone have any money left by the time their season is over to where, people could make legit offers? But yeah, he is incredibly entertaining, and he's going to be able to walk in there and be like, so what do you got for me?
No doubt. Now, what'd you think of the way that Chambliss played clearly in the fourth quarter? I mean, that was like quarterback theater, dude. Yeah. Him calling out blitzes, pointing to the guys come on, I know you're coming. That was he was like pulling Aaron Rodgers moves out there and then throwing touchdowns. I was just sitting there going, this is as good as it gets. Like it was wildly entertaining, but he was a little shaky at points in the game. Like how many interceptions did Miami drop? Three, four?
Yeah.
And that once again, they had opportunities to make this game, frankly, not be very close, and they just weren't able to seize those opportunities. But it was almost like all of that got erased because Chambliss was so dang good in the fourth.
And they made it really difficult on him early. He was under a ton of pressure. Miami's D line was creating all kinds of chaos, which we've seen, right? I mean, that's been what they've done so far. They did the same exact thing, in the previous round. So, all things considered, I kind of like it's about how I felt going in. I thought Miami had the better all around football team, but Chambliss was the best player on the field, and Miami did a really good job for a big portion of the game keeping him in check. But, over a quarter, it was almost too much, and he almost turned your lights out because he could do it that quick, just like he did in the previous game. So I think, and I know he didn't get his extra year unless something's changed. I don't know. I haven't seen.
I'm sure that they will appeal, and we'll see what ends up happening. Frankly, as an OU fan that has Ole Miss on the schedule next year,
you ain't kidding.
I went, oh, thank goodness, because I don't think he would go to LSU. I really don't. I think I think Ole Miss would do whatever they had to do to hold on to him, and he had already, I think, signed something.
Yeah,
for
he said as
$5 million
now,
or whatever.
What does that mean? I don't know. Look around and see that that's been done before, but I think he's an incredible player, and I know. I'm not sure what all his measurables are and how they compare, but he's a player. I think he shows a high level of awareness pre-snap, like you mentioned, calling out blitzes and stuff. I'd be surprised if he doesn't have some level of success in the NFL. Now, there's a lot of factors involved. Where do you go? What's the offensive line situation? Like, there's got to be the right fit, but he could play, and I think he could play at the next level.
I assume that it's really hard to trust that the NCAA is going to do you a solid,
Right.
So I would expect him. I mean, the Senior Bowl's right around the corner. I would expect him to get, and I'm sure they already have all of their quarterbacks invited, but if he's draft eligible now, like he's got to be there in Mobile, with the season that he put together. So he'll have his chance to prove that that he should be a guy that teams take a serious look at in the early rounds, despite maybe not having the type of size that you're looking for an early round pick at the quarterback position. But you and I both know that size isn't what it used to be at that spot. And like the guy can play, the guy makes plays. He had more throws than any other quarterback this season where you went, dang, dude.
Yeah.
He was the best playmaker at the quarterback position that I watched all season long.
Yep. That's the way to put it.
That's no disrespect to Mendoza, no disrespect to Moore. Like those guys they're quote unquote more talented, but dude, Chambliss he'd have like 4 or 5 throws a game where I just went, oh my gosh, this guy's ridiculous.
That's how I always put it. Quarterbacks fall, pretty much into 2 categories: great distributors of the football and playmakers. And he is a playmaker.
Beck was kind of a playmaker too when he needed to be.
He did. I mean, that last touchdown I thought that they were going to get to him. He's got great pocket awareness. The way that
played a lot of ball.
He played a lot of ball, and he's tough, man. He's taken some crazy hits in the pocket throwing the football, and he's tough, man. He's tough. He's smart. He's calm under pressure, and he made the big plays when they needed to get the win. I'm kind of worried that he felt like he won the Super Bowl, though, during that football game. Can they regather their emotions and go play another one?
They have it at home.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing,
right.
but I thought Beck was great. I mean, they just needed him to manage the game, and he did more than that. I thought like good decisions, really composed. He had the interception. It's a batted ball. Like that one's I don't put that on him. Used his legs when he needed to in key situations, including the game winner. Like he was as good as they could have asked for
Yep,
in that
I
game. Like
agree.
he was, I thought he did a great job. We're giving Chambliss all the love for the fourth quarter performance, but Beck, probably when you look at the entirety of the game, probably outplayed him.
He answered. I mean, he answered when he had to, and you know, whenever you're playing with a lead and things are comfortable, you don't have to take a lot of risk and go make a bunch of plays. You just manage the football game, and he's shown uh, that not just at Miami when he was at Georgia, he's shown that he's got a good ability to do that.
Miami had a 41-minute to 18-minute time of possession advantage, and Ole Miss was throwing the ball into the end zone to try to win the game.
I know
I just,
things can change quickly.
I just, what a sport.
I
The
mean, we'll talk about it later, but I watched a football game last night that reminded me a lot of the one we're talking about right now.
Yeah, we'll get to that in winners and losers. But the only other things on this game is I just have all the respect in the world for Eccles and Harris on that defensive line for Ole Miss. The amount of snaps those guys played this season was insane, nuts,
Insane. And they're,
insane.
you know, not small guys. It
No,
is not easy to play 70, 75 snaps in a football game and be able to play as hard as they do and as hard as you need to. Like you can't really take plays. You take plays off on defensive line, you get blown off the football. So it's tough.
and then I am so proud of both of those schools for just wearing the right jerseys. Thank you. Big game, Ted. College football playoff cinema final. The second I turn it on, I go, there's Ole Miss and there's Miami.
There you go.
Thank goodness, just as the football gods intended.
There you go. That's right. Smart moves.
Well, we got that one. And then we got Oregon, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Ted, you ever seen a dead body? My goodness, dude. 56-22, wasn't that close.
Yeah, I saw a dead body on the first play of the game, and it sat there and festered for the rest of the four quarters.
Well, hey, to Dante Moore's credit, their drive, the drive they put together after the pick six on the first play of the game, like
Yep.
that was impressive to be able to
It was.
regather yourself, go down the field, tie it up at 7. But you have to play clean against Indiana. You cannot make critical errors. You can't stare right at a receiver on a quick out on the first play of the game and throw it late for a pick six. You can't have a running back knock the ball out of your quarterback's hand as he's trying to throw an RPO and then recover it at the 3-yard line. You can't get a sack strip fumble and give them the ball at the plus 25. You can't get a punt blocked and give them the ball at the 7. You can't have one of those things happen against Indiana and expect to win. Oregon did all 4 of those, and that's why they got embarrassed. You
That's
can't
right.
make mistakes against this team. You got to play clean. And Oregon did, I mean, that nowhere near playing clean, and that's why they got completely blown out.
Yeah. And the narrative has been funny. It went very quickly from Indiana is the best story we've seen in sports in a long time to Indiana's too good. There's no way they can be that good. They're cheating.
I saw it all over Twitter.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they're doing it, but they got to be cheating, right? And there's people that are kind of like, I mean, because what they're doing when you look at the talent level on their roster, it is unprecedented. We've never seen anything like it in modern college football. We've never seen anything like. Now you can point to the fact that they got a bunch of old dudes. There's no doubt about it. They are an old, mature, veteran football team. But yeah, dude, they're beating people so badly that you got a bunch of people going, I'm not sure how they're doing it, but they're cheating.
Yeah.
I can't prove it, but they are cheating. They're hacking into the video system. Like that's some people are trying to find any way to justify what Kirk Cignetti and this team is doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they're cheating for the record
No.
because I watched the tape. What they're
I,
doing is bludgeoning people at the line of scrimmage.
yeah. Playing assignment sound, tough, physical, smart, fast football. Decision making, um, responsibility football. And I keep hearing there's a talent with the talent they have, but I don't see anyone on the field that doesn't look talented.
I,
That's what happens whenever you play smart and fast and disciplined. Look pretty damn talented to me. It takes talent to do that, obviously.
I think a lot of people are just looking at, where some of their guys are going to get drafted,
Right.
which is funny because their quarterback's probably going number one overall.
Right.
You can't go any earlier than number one overall. But then you look at it and say, all right, where's Surratt going to get picked? Where's Cooper going to get picked? I think if you look at some of these mocks, they probably have 3, maybe 4 guys that are projected to go on day 1 and day 2. Meanwhile, Ohio State has what, 10, 8, 10? And that's where people are going, how are they doing this? And it's a great reminder that at its core, football is a physical fight. And this is how I've explained it. When you turn on the tape, we all grew up with guys that you're like, that guy's going to fight you. And you better be ready to knock him out or he's going to fight you until he passes out.
You may win the fight, but you're never going to want to do it again.
Exactly. They got a full team of those guys.
Yep.
That are just they are going to fight you harder and longer than you really want to do. And it's snap after snap after snap. It is super physical. It's not super complicated. It's just super physical and detailed. They're doing it at such a high level. People want to say they're cheating.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a football analytics guy that was like, listen, I'm just telling you, I don't know how. I haven't figured it out yet, but it's not possible.
They are breaking people's brains. And my counter to that would be, so them making every play in a competitive catch situation is cheating? Are we not just going to give Surratt and Becker and Cooper credit for going and making those plays? They hacked into the video system to make those competitive catches. And that's the thing,
got to block people. Even if there is something, and I'm pretty confident there's not. You still got to block. You still got to tackle. You still got to make the catch over people. You still got to put the ball where it's supposed to go. You still got to know and execute your responsibility. I mean, it all goes back to the very same thing that we've talked about all season with them and was the big talking point coming into the football game. They do not make mistakes. They do not make mistakes. They do not shoot themselves in the foot. The list of things that you said that Miami did had nothing to do with Indiana knowing the play or whatever people theorize the cheating may be. It had to do with them shooting themselves in the foot and making critical mistakes because of the pressure they were put under every single snap.
I'm not even sure. I was thinking about this as I watched Fernando Mendoza still be in the game with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of a massacre. I was sitting there going, man, does Cignetti, do they want to embarrass Oregon right now? And then I was just sitting there. I was like, I don't even really think that's it. I think these guys just know one way.
Yeah. It's like the same thing we used to say about Saban teams, right? the famous, they're winning the national championship. They're up like 3 or 4 touchdowns, and there's like a huge fight between the quarterback and the Saban and the center. I don't remember all the details to it, but it's just an edge. There's one way to do it, right? There's one way to do it. It doesn't matter what the score is. Doesn't matter if you're up, you're down. There's one way to do it.
It's like they are dominating the semifinal. They are going to the national championship. The game has been decided. I mean, for the entire second half, Oregon scores a garbage touchdown. It cuts to Cignetti. He looks furious. Like that, I think they just have a culture of like, hey, we play one way. If the game is still going on, this is how we play. And they're doing it so well, people want to think they're cheating.
How about the post-game interview with Cignetti? First of all, she's like, how are you gonna replicate this, and how are you gonna win a national championship? And he's like, well, we'll give the guys a day off tomorrow. we'll start we got 10 days. I think it's a 10-day window, so we'll start practice. Like, nothing about like we'll go and we'll buy, we'll get, it's like right back to the very specific details. Well, we'll give them a day off, then we'll start practicing and preparing, and then we'll go win the football game.
And then, like,
but before that, I'm going to crack a beer.
Yeah, incredible. It was this team just continues to be more and more impressive. It's like they're gaining strength.
Yeah.
The confidence is growing. They're playing even better.
One mind. Everyone on the team. It's been pounded into our head like this is how you do it. There's one way to do it. And when everyone's because you're always going to have guys that are like, why do we do this? The practices are too long. Why are we meeting? Like whatever the complaint might be, there's always that, whatever. It's just kind of natural. It's what players do in the locker room. But whenever everyone's like, oh, okay, this is how you do it. This is the way. And everyone has the same exact focus. You could be incredibly dangerous no matter the talent level.
Everyone, maybe not everyone. A lot of people are going to be very interested in getting their hands on the way that Indiana does things throughout a game week and the way that they do things throughout the offseason and like the methods that they're using.
Yeah.
Now some people are out there going, they are hacking into the communication system. They know the plays. That's the only thing that makes sense. But it's quite possible they're just running the most buttoned up organization in college football.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've got a lot of talented players that play harder than everyone else.
Yep. Harder,
but maybe
smarter.
Maybe they're hacking into the video system. It's Mark Cuban. It's Mark Cuban doing it.
I don't know. I don't even think that hacking into the video system does. Whatever. I think it's totally legit. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm gullible. I don't know, but I know this. I'm picking them to win the national championship. Is that too early?
No, I will be doing the same. Now, I do think, depending on Miami, a little banged up coming out of that game, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, Mesidor had the thing with his arm. Bain was banged up in the secondary. Going to have a safety, miss the first half of the national championship game, which is just, don't even get me started on that stupid, we need to fire the targeting penalty into the sun. It is just, we don't need this podcast to be 3 hours long. So let's just not get started. But I do think from a health perspective, it feels like Indiana's in, and I know Becker tweaked that ankle a little bit, but like, it feels like Indiana's also really healthy. I know they're missing a couple defensive linemen that were big pieces for him throughout the season, but other than that, it feels like the Hoosiers are ready to roll. Meanwhile, it does feel like Miami may be dealing with some more injury issues than what Indiana's got.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Um, I like to me, yes, it wouldn't change my pick if Miami was 100% healthy. Until I see otherwise, I'm taking Indiana to win every football game they play, and maybe by a large margin.
Well, yeah, if they know all the plays. There are people legitimately having those conversations on
Yeah,
Twitter. I mean, like,
it started about halfway through the second quarter. It's like, okay, just want to get this off my chest. They're cheating.
I can't prove it. I've got absolutely no evidence, but it's happening. And I'm going to find out how. Like,
Right.
all right, man. Got to just playing really disciplined physical football, not doing really anything crazy. It just is what it is. Mendoza's awesome. I
Yep.
think that, you know, their dominance maybe is overshadowing just how ridiculously accurate he's been in the playoff.
Accurate, consistent, right read, right throw, right play at the right time. And there's a lot to be said about that.
They're very good.
Yep.
Indiana is the best team in the country and kind of feels like they're only going to get better. What is happening?
I don't
How
know.
did we get here?
I
I
don't know.
They're also just taking these stadiums over.
Well, hell yeah, they haven't. You cannot replicate this type of like just rabid fan base. You've been horrible forever, and now all of a sudden you're going to go win a national championship. Damn straight, they're going to take over, and they haven't had to spend $1 billion going to bowl games and playoff games and conference championship games over the last 15 years. The bank accounts are ready to travel.
All 800,000 of them
Right.
been saving for these moments. I I'm not going to be surprised if they have a crowd advantage in Miami for the national title
I
game.
would be floored if they don't have a huge crowd advantage.
We'll see. But it feels like it it feels like we got the two right teams in the national championship game. That's how it feels
Yeah.
to me.
Yep.
I guess the Notre Dame fan could be at home going, this could have been us.
Could have
I
been us. We'll never
We'll
know.
never know.
Yeah. Hey, two best teams, two hottest teams.
Really
You
good
know, like
quarterback play.
good quarterback play, plenty of line of scrimmage play. That I mean, that's going to be the best part about this and watching the line of scrimmage battle. And then you sprinkle in some great skill players. It's should be great.
Going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's finish up with our winners and losers of the weekend. But first, wind, hail, tornadoes, and earthquakes are now year-round threats. And at the same time, homeowners insurance rates in Oklahoma are the highest in the entire country. Unfortunately, some insurance companies use deceptive and bad faith claim handling practices to deny or lower what little they pay out. Fortunately, one of the leading insurance bad faith attorneys in the country is a longtime Sooner and resides here in Oklahoma, Jeff Marr. The Marr Law Firm has represented more victims of tornado, storm, and earthquake damage than anyone in the Sooner State, recovering hundreds of millions of dollars for their clients. There's only one law firm to handle insurance companies, Marr Law Firm. And three things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise, it's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. As always, Ted, kicks off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Chicago Bears. What a football game. We turned it on. My son had a basketball game last night. We got back, turned it on. 21 think it was 21-3, 21-0. Soon as I turned the television on, it had the crowd shot of the Bears. I was like, "Oh no, what's happening right now?" And then they flashed the score up. I was like, "Oh my gosh." But I would love to give a ton of credit to myself for hanging around, watching the entire game. And I was like, if they could just do this, or if they get a stop here, and and they just kept plugging away, and then it all started pouring out. Big plays. Caleb Williams was incredible. Defensively, they after they gave up the first three touchdowns, they really settled in and played good defense. Green Bay couldn't make a field goal. It was perfect viewing for an NFL playoff game. Love it.
You could feel the energy and like the intensity of the crowd build and build and build. It got to a point where I'm laying in bed watching it going, like, I don't really care about this. And like, I feel nervous. Like this is like it, you could feel the anxiety and excitement coming through the television. It was fantastic. And that 4th and 8 throw to Adunze, my goodness, dude.
Mm,
I mean, that's what kept the game alive for him.
yep.
And that's one of the better throws you're going to see in the NFL playoffs from Caleb Williams. That was, I mean, when you absolutely had to have it, what a throw. And then they, finished the last couple drives. Just, that was a lot of fun to watch.
It was crazy, crazy good, crazy good. Um, I think it was DJ Moore on that crossing route that had a drop. It looked like he was going to maybe go score or get a huge chunk. I was like, oh my gosh, brutal drop right now, but ends up getting the touchdown. And it was awesome. Caleb Williams was making all kinds of crazy plays. You could feel the pressure building and the um, just like on the sideline of the Packers, like you could tell the way the game was going to go, right? Just by looking at how the body language on each sideline was, and hearing the crowd, it's like you feel like they're not going to be denied at this moment, and the Packers are just like they're fighting a bunch of demons on the football field right now. A ton of drops down the stretch, just crazy entertaining, fun to watch, and you go compare it to the game before it, the Rams. It's why I am such a fan of outdoor stadiums. It felt like a playoff game. The Rams game playing in the dome just feels like any other game, doesn't it? Do you get that feeling when you watch it?
Wasn't the Rams game in Carolina outside?
Or was it Carolina?
Yeah, they were on the road. So there goes your theory.
Huh.
I'm leaving it in. Everyone's going to think you're stupid.
Well, I am. I am stupid.
Now you got me second guessing. I swear that game
No,
was
you're
in
probably
Carolina. Carolina was
you're
wearing
probably yeah.
black.
Well, the atmosphere in Chicago was incredible. I
Look,
loved it.
I know what you
It
mean.
was fantastic.
It looked top tier. Like I mean, and whatever's going on between Ben Johnson and LaFleur, I I want more of that in the NFL. Did you see his post game speech in the locker room?
No, I saw the. Oh well, I watched a little bit of it. I didn't hang around for the whole thing. It was like 5 minutes long, but I saw the handshake after the game. That's all I really needed.
Well, he started the locker room speech with, it was like, I effing hate the Packers. F them. That was the first thing that came out of his mouth. And I was like, okay, this is it. Everyone knows it's a rivalry. I couldn't believe, I think I read it's only the third time these teams have played each other in the playoffs,
Really,
which is
wow.
like, these guys have been playing football for forever. This is like
Yeah.
the 1920s. So
Well, they've. It's interesting now that I think about it. Like the eras really haven't matched up all that great. Whenever they were both good, but that still is crazy. But what a what a game! That was fun, man.
I wildly entertaining. It's, I mean, both of the Saturday games were awesome. I'm here
Yeah,
to talk about, and we'll get to, I've got the Rams as my winner of the weekend, so we'll get to that one. But just you want these playoff games to come down to the last couple drives. You want these quarterbacks to go have to make something happen. And that's exactly what we got with the
Yep.
Saturday NFL games.
It was great. Fantastic. Caleb Williams was really good. He's frustrating at times still, making some mistakes here and there, just kind of game management type of stuff. But sometimes that's what you get with a young player that feels like he could do anything at any moment. And, he can. So you understand it to a degree, but just fantastic stuff.
Who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
I hate whenever I have to do this, and it feels like it. Uh, I'm not picking on him, but it's OU men's hoops. A tough one at A&M. It's a pretty good team, and you challenge. You had some opportunities late that you just couldn't pull it off. Tough, but the back-to-back losses, and it's hard to win on the road in the SEC, in any conference, in college hoops. And you felt like they needed to get at least one of those two. They were both gettable. The really frustrating one was the Mississippi State game where, they just, couldn't hit anything in that game. But, frustrating. I'm still hopeful that this team can really build into something and start to mesh really well, because you see some moments where there's some really good play, but the consistency just not there yet.
No, the A&M game, okay, hey, you get outplayed in the last 5-6 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Really competitive, back and forth. Didn't get the stops you needed to get late in that second half. Didn't hit the shots you needed to hit late in that second half. Okay. The Mississippi State game is the one where you go, what the heck are we doing, guys? 53 points.
Right.
What was it, like 3 of 20 from 3?
It was something bad. Yeah, we were like overall from the field, the numbers were terrible too, like 30 something percent from the field.
So in the Wednesday game, you lose. I mean, you get blown out. Let's just be real. Can't hit a shot. And then the Saturday game, you lose. I thought the difference in the game was turnovers.
Yep.
We were too careless with the basketball. And they had way more points off of turnovers than we did.
Yep.
Those extra possessions end up mattering a lot. Now, you actually did some really good things on the offensive end, but you have to play defense at a higher level, especially down the stretch.
Yep.
Like some of those looks that A&M got late, like those guys those shots need to be better contested than they were, in my opinion.
Agree.
So it continues to be very frustrating, especially when you consider the fact that, we're sitting here a week ago going, hey, nice win over Ole Miss in the SEC opener, played really well in the second half. Hey, maybe this season could be a little different. And now you're sitting at 1-2 in conference play going,
oh boy,
here we go.
Yep.
Just not where you want to be, man. It's not where you want to be.
Nope. Early, plenty of time to turn it around, but man, you got to take some of these opportunities and figure it out, and at a minimum be really competitive and give yourself a chance late, but hopefully on the road be able to steal a couple. And then here's the thing, you've got to hold serve at home. You got to be able to win at home. You can't afford to give up home games, especially ones where you should go win them.
It's going to be, and that's what having Florida and Bama at home this week. You've got Florida Tuesday night, and then you've got Bama Saturday afternoon. Like, it's not going to be easy, but like you said, you got to protect your home floor.
Got to.
So the Wednesday one is the one that bothers you, right? Like
that was not good.
This at A&M, really competitive game. You don't play the way you need to play in the last couple minutes of the game. They get a home win. Okay, the Wednesday one, you're just like,
come on.
Ugh. I don't know. I don't know if that's the best analysis, but I was watching that game just going, ugh, like,
Yep.
We can't hit a shot. It's hard to win on the road if you can't hit shots, Ted. This just in.
Hard to win, hard to watch. You know,
I did not have
tough.
fun on Wednesday
Yeah,
night watching that.
it was tough.
Saturday, I was entertained. I was
That was
like, okay,
entertaining.
this is fun. Here we go. Let's see if we can outplay him in the last 5 minutes. Didn't.
Let's turn it around. Consistency. Take care of the. I was about to say take care of the football. Take care of the basketball, and you know, this team was billed as we're going to be a great 3-point shooting team, and you've seen flashes of it, but I mean, we can't go 3 of 20.
That's, I mean, that's hard hitting analysis right there, folks.
Bam.
Hit shots. Don't let the other team hit shots.
There you go. Simple game.
I I want us. I It just feels like we've got to string some wins together, man. Like this, you got to get this fan base behind it, and the way that this has
Yep.
started, like you had the initial win, and now you have these two, and you're. I feel like the fan base goes, "Oh, here we go again."
Yep.
But hopefully, there's a good crowd Tuesday night in Norman. That's a game against the Florida team that we desperately need to win.
Yep.
So it's not a must win too early in the season to be saying that, but like you said, Ted, you got to win the games at home, and Florida's going to be very talented.
Yes.
They we'll see how it goes for the Sooners on Tuesday night, but a big week for Porter Moser and OU men's hoops. All right, let's get to my winner and loser of the weekend. But first, if you're looking for tickets to OU's next game, SeatGeek is where y'all need to go. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Oklahoma Sooners. So all Sooners tickets on SeatGeek are authentic and secure, and every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. So go to SeatGeek.com or download the SeatGeek app and use our code BREAKDOWN10 for 10% off any tickets. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports festivals, and more. The app is extremely easy to use, and SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. And remember, you can use code BREAKDOWN10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code BREAKDOWN10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thanks, SeatGeek. We are Mando Men. This is actually the deodorant both of us use. And new customers can go to shopmando.com and get 20% off site-wide and free shipping with our code OKBreakdown. Cheering for your squad is hard work, which makes the deodorant you choose very important. Mando's sweat control deodorant stick stops odor before it starts, and they have great scents like bourbon leather, Cloverwoods, Mount Fuji, and Pro Sport. Mando's starter pack is also perfect for new customers. It comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. New customers get 20% off site-wide and free shipping on shopmando.com with our code OKBreakdown. That's shopmando.com, code OKBreakdown for 20% off and free shipping for new customers. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness. All right, for my winner of the weekend, give me the LA Rams. You jump out to the big 14-0 lead with the 2 Nakua touchdowns. It feels like they really missed an opportunity at the end of that first half to create some serious separation. And then all of a sudden you're in the fourth quarter and right, Panthers got the lead. And that fourth quarter was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it was quite as entertaining as what we got from Miami and Ole Miss, but it was pretty close. And ultimately, what you want as kind of a neutral observer of a playoff game like this, I want the ball in the best player's hands, and he's got to take his team down the field and go win the game.
There you go.
And Matthew Stafford is that dude.
What's crazy is the season he put together, I feel like was, I don't know, I'm sure in NFL circles, we're kind of immersed in college football, but felt really quiet, and he put together statistically an insane season.
Well, he's going to win MVP or Drake May's going to win MVP.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't say it's been that quiet, but
Right.
it is with how long he's been playing. It is one of these things like, my goodness, he is balling out, and they're doing it with they got really good players at wide receiver. They're using a ton of tight ends, like they're playing in 12 and 13 personnel. They got to be playing in 13 personnel more than anyone ever has in the NFL. But ultimately, Stafford with the ball in his hands, 2:39 to go score a touchdown and win the game. That's what he does. And what a play by Parkinson on that touchdown. To catch it the way that he did, high point it the way he did, and then turn his body and get it across the goal line. That was a heck of a play, man.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's I know that was an entertaining day for sure. And I know we're underway today. Anxious to see how some of these games go today, but going to be hard to top what we saw yesterday.
We'll see what the word is on his finger. Did you see that?
No.
At the end of the first half, uh, now he ended up playing the entire second half with it, but I mean, his quotes after the game, it didn't sound like that finger's feeling very good.
Oof,
Throwing hand.
that's brutal.
Now, no surprise at all. I played with Stafford in Detroit. Incredible teammate. Dude is tough as it. I mean, as you can be at the quarterback spot. No surprise at all that he played through that in the second half, and then with a hurt finger on his throwing hand, took his team right down the field to win the game. Just darts. No surprise at all. But you kind of got the adrenaline pumping in that moment. I wonder how it's feeling today for Stafford. So we'll see. But
Horrible.
yeah, horrible. We
Got
all
a
know
heartbeat.
horrible. But we'll see what the tests end up saying. But clearly, that's going to be a massive, massive factor in the next round.
Yep. Yeah. I'm looking it's this season most touchdown passes he's ever thrown as a quarterback. 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
He's gotten better and better looking the older he gets. Like we got it. It's got to be studied, Ted.
Hey,
He's getting more handsome and he's getting better at football.
maybe they go which one the more handsome you get the better you get, or the better you get the more handsome you get. Which is the catalyst here?
He also went from living in Detroit to living in Los Angeles, getting a little more sun, maybe. I don't know.
Just kind of happens out there.
But he's balling out, man. So I really hope the fingers not a big deal. I fear that it will be, but he's been so good this season. I want to see a healthy Matt Stafford go out there and play another playoff game, but
No doubt.
we'll see what it ends up looking like.
Yeah. No, he's been incredible. They're rolling right now. Momentum is great, and I know it's gearing up to be a fun NFL playoff season.
Game was so good you thought it was at SoFi.
I know.
I sometimes I don't pay
I'm
attention
watching
to
the
that stuff
highlights
either.
right now, and it still looks like it.
I I don't know what to tell you, man. I when you said that, I was like, wait, was it? No, it was it. Doesn't matter. Great game. Who cares? On to my loser of the weekend. Washington quarterback Damon Williams.
Ooh.
Long road back to earn
Yeah.
the trust of your teammates, your coaches, and that UW fan base after what he pulled. Long road back, Ted. My goodness. Dude,
Yeah.
what is he
I,
doing?
I don't know. I'm almost like there is no road back.
I
But I don't know what
he's
he's doing. He's getting some really bad advice, and not being able to. I mean, there's one thing you could say someone's getting bad advice, but I mean, you're not a 13-year-old, okay? You should be able to see the landscape a little bit better than what you are.
he signed a very lucrative deal with Washington. I think I read it up to $4.7 million for next season. And then, unbeknownst to his teammates, his coaches, his agent at Wasserman, puts out a graphic. He's going in the portal.
Like it was like 2 days later, right?
And all time bad timing. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Gets posted when a bunch of his teammates and coaches are at a funeral for a Washington soccer player that died from cancer. Like just all time bad PR move. Dude, when you combine all of it. But credit to Washington in the Big Ten. It seems like everyone in that conference unified to say, hey, Washington, we got your back. Go hold him to that contract. And his agent drops him. He hires the lawyer, and I'm guessing that lawyer said, dude, you are screwed. And now he's going to be Washington's quarterback? Like, dude.
Well, is he going to be, you think?
That's the way it seems.
Did I see Pribula's going there?
He visited. He's not going there.
Okay.
But I think they probably were like, hey, man, yeah, LSU said they're going to give you 6. You're going to spend all 6 of that in legal fees against us. We got the entire conference ready to go. Because in all seriousness, like, my top 2 takeaways when you look at this entire situation were, what is this guy doing? You got to have better control of your decisions than that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people want to blame the people around him, like not his agent that actually did things the way you're supposed to do, like these advisors, right? That are shopping him, quietly shopping him. Dude, at some point, these guys got to tell their dads, their uncles, whoever, like, no, we ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. You have to stand up and defend yourself. And that's why I don't feel bad for Damon Williams at all. Life is about choices and consequences, man. And ultimately, this was his choice. Now, were there some people that were very influential at giving him bad advice? Yeah, there's no doubt. Like, that's certainly how it feels. But ultimately, he's the one that hit send on that post, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry that you cannot. And I don't know if he's doing that. I don't know who is doing this, but you have to be a dumbass of the highest order to do what he did, number one. And number two, to be able to expect anyone that like tries to pawn that off on his people giving him advice, like what world do we live in where you can't recognize something incredibly stupid and be able to like what age is it? Tell me. Is it 18 whenever you get to vote? Like you tell me, when is it where you can no longer pawn off horrible decisions on people around you and say, "Oh, I didn't know. I got bad advice."
You and I feel the same on this. These guys are having to grow up really fast, make some big time decisions, but ultimately it's your decision.
There's tough I fully understand. There's hard decisions. There are very difficult decisions out there about, should I get in the portal? Should I stay? This offer, that offer, which is better? Which is better for my future? Is more money necessarily what I need whenever I love it here? And I mean, there are difficult decisions. But once you sign a deal for $4.7 million and make a decision that like that no longer qualifies as a difficult decision, right?
I don't understand what him and his advisors were thinking. Everyone loved him at Washington. And now everything he did this season, all that goodwill he built up with the fan base, all the excitement that was surrounding that team going into next year, like this just kind of hangs over it. And if he goes out there and balls out and they win a bunch of games, like people will go, hey, it will disappear with time, right? We know what winning does, but just a huge unforced error, you know?
I don't
Why?
I don't even know how you move forward.
I think that's the most interesting part because clearly Washington wanted to keep him, and it's obvious why. He's really good.
Yeah.
He's extremely talented. You when you have a quarterback like that, you do whatever you got to do to hang on to him, including threatening to sue him. But the the dynamic in the locker room, like what does he have to do to make amends? I don't know, dude. But college football is different than when we played. Like maybe the guys in the locker room, like, yeah, we kind of get it. Yeah, but hey, welcome back. That's hard for me to believe, though.
I, maybe I yeah, I
You
don't
think he
know, man.
walks in, he's like, hey, Kiffin was offering me $6 million, guys. Like, what did you
How
want me
about
to
Lane
do?
Kiffin too, though?
Are
Right?
they screwed?
I mean, could you tarnish your name and reputation anymore? Well, I mean, you can, but uh, without breaking a law or doing something horrible, I the stock has dropped significantly.
This is my shocked face. Lane Kiffin is doing something questionable. Oh my goodness. I never saw this coming. I I do think the LSU quarterback situation now becomes one of the most interesting situations in the entire sport. Because remember, this all happened, this all went down while Sam Levitt was on his LSU visit and like sitting next to Lane Kiffin at a basketball game.
Right?
I have to imagine Sam Levitt wasn't thrilled
No,
with that.
no.
And I think he was going to Tennessee. I'm sure he'll, visit like Miami still needs a guy, right? For next year. Like I it'd be such a shame if all of this ended up blowing up in Lane Kiffin's face and they didn't have a good quarterback next year. It would be a real shame.
He'll probably go back to Ferris State, I guess. See what they got at quarterback. I mean,
I,
I he'll find somebody, but I mean, it just feels like the whole way that this season, the end of it, all of the drama, going to LSU, and once he got there, how it just feels like it's just been steadily downhill and getting worse and worse. And college football's a trendy thing. You can go from being the trendy name and the in the place everyone wants to go play to being at the back of the list very quickly. And it kind of feels like LSU's fallen to the back of the list.
well, to his defense, he almost had Damon Williams.
Right.
Wait, what did they think was going to happen? That's what I want to know. Did they think Washington was going to be like, all right, I guess we'll just rip this contract up. Good luck,
If you're
man. Like,
Washington, don't you also, I don't know if you can sue LSU. I don't think you can, but I mean, if there's ever a case for tampering, I
yeah,
mean, my goodness.
I, and in the contract, it said he couldn't go in the transfer portal from what I've read. And someone in his team said, oh, it doesn't matter. And
Probably
then
never
he
had,
hires a lawyer and is like, it actually does. You need to go back to school or you're probably going to like have to appear in front of the Supreme Court, like at some point.
I mean, appear in front of the, I'd feel
A
worse.
Supreme Court, maybe not like the big one, but like a Supreme Court.
I would feel more worried if I was him walking back into the locker room than I would a courthouse.
I
Curious. I mean, I honestly don't know how that dynamic. You're right. It is different now, but I mean, you just signed and then you announce you're going in the portal while everyone's at the funeral. Like it's just, it could not be worse.
and like a bunch of the other quarterbacks had already gone other places because you had signed.
Yeah.
So I
People made decisions based on you signing.
correct. It's literally like the roster is built around you. And he was like, you know what? I'll just make all these people hate me. How about that?
I mean, it's interesting. Like,
It's dumb, dude. It the entirety of it. Maybe the most important thing to come out of this is like it's good that the contracts matter. Like
yeah,
it's good that the contracts actually mean something. Now, if Damon Williams' people said we don't care, we're going to LSU, we'll see you in court. I'm very curious to see how it would have played out. There's no doubt, but the fact that the Big Ten, Washington, the Big Ten, like everyone supported Washington saying, hey, yeah, go after him, hold him to the contract. And let's be real, Damon Williams and his people folded like a lawn chair. Went back to Washington with his tail tucked in between his legs. Like, I think overall that's good for the sport, right?
yes. I also think there's 10 brain cells between him and whoever his advisors are. And you really got to wonder, like, smart people do dumb things. Okay. There's no doubt. But dumb people do dumb things a whole hell of a lot more often than smart people do. And I, it's a huge red flag, in my opinion. If I'm an NFL team, I just look at it and I say, and it has nothing, I don't care about like NFL contract stuff or would a guy leave in free agency. It has nothing to do with that. I'm talking about just baseline intelligence. That's it. I'm talking about baseline intelligence. And I don't want to put my $1 billion franchise in front of someone who, like, is, I'm sorry to say it, that dumb. Right? I mean, am I the only one that views it that way?
He is extremely talented. Now there's a conversation to be had. Like, does he have the intangibles? You know, is he going to be an early round guy? Like, he's still young.
One intangible.
That's my thing. This one of it, you don't want to say like, hey, one decision defines a guy as a player. Like, you don't want to say that, but I guarantee you, there are a lot of NFL teams that when he is draft eligible and it comes time to do his evaluation, they're going to go big red X. Nope. You remember what he did? Remember when he tried to leave? Just it like didn't tell anyone. Just tried to pull a fast one on everyone and just hoped it would work out. Like, yeah, we don't want that guy. Cross him off. Next. Won't even watch the tape. Dead serious.
Yeah.
And he may end up, hey, he's really talented. He may end up being a successful NFL quarterback. I don't know. But people are going to hate that.
I wonder
and it was completely unnecessary. It never had to be a factor.
That's the thing. It's completely unnecessary. The timing is ridiculous. Like, okay, it's one thing if you sign the deal and you even have a conversation with Lane Kiffin, of all people, a day after you sign the contract to be like, listen, I just signed the contract. I still want to go there. Let me snoop around and like spring ball or whatever. Put a little bit of distance between me and the signing of the contract. Like, we gotta find the right time. Like, even though it's dirty as hell, it's not as stupid as what he just did. Like, you got to try and eliminate the stupid. The stupid doesn't fly usually.
Typically. It'll be very interesting to see how this ends up working out at Washington. If I was his teammate, especially if I was like if I was what I was, veteran offensive lineman, like captain, leader, I think you have to fight him in front of the team.
Yeah,
there has to be some type of confrontation, right?
Yeah.
If you got a locker room of guys that have anything to him, and I know he's the big money quarterback, I get that. He's not a big guy either. I think he's like 5'11". But I'd be if that guy thinks he's walking in there and being the vocal leader of the team, just like nothing happened. Please, dude, come on. But it's a different time, Ted. I don't know. Maybe he walks in and he's like, "Just kidding." Like I don't know.
He could try the my Twitter account got hacked.
I I don't know. It was graphic. It was everything. Bizarre, dude. A miscalculation, maybe the best way to put it.
Yep. Yep.
Miscalculation. We'll see. They end up winning a bunch of games. Like maybe everyone goes, "Hey, water under the bridge."
You could still win a bunch of games with a dumb person at quarterback.
That's true, especially one as athletic as him.
That's right.
Yeah. Birthday shout outs. Ted, there's only one. I'm going to give it to you, buddy.
Happy 53rd birthday to Mike Thaggard.
And on that note, episode 596 in the books. We'll have a new podcast that'll drop on Wednesday. Just a reminder, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hope you all have a great start to your week. Until next time, we appreciate y'all for listening. Do what you always do, Oklahoma. Take care of each other.